Yo, YouTube, what's the word, man? I got a bank for y'all, man. So today, we're finna be reacting to when teen killers realize they've been caught, man. And ain't gonna lie, these teen stories be so crazy, bro, when they be in the interrogation room and you see how all the crimes be unfolding, bro. Like, y'all just gotta stay tuned and watch and like just see how everything be happening. So we ain't even finna take too much time. We finna go to get straight into it. My camera look bright too.
Usually, cops expect the killer to be a full-grown adult. But what happens when it's secretly a teenager?
You're just arrested on a charge that's made up.
On the 2nd of May 2023, a single stray bullet was found on the floor of this school's cafeteria. Immediately, the school was placed under strict lockdown, and police started to search every single student in the school. They knew how serious this could be, as at any moment, the owner of that bullet could have stepped forward and unleashed deathly havoc on the entire school. However, in a sudden turn of events, a student approaches the police and asks a strange question.
It's not a bullet you found on the gun, right? Oh, okay. Somebody find something you know about?
Because I had a bullet in my pocket, but it wasn't like, it's not like I'm planning anything.
Oh, okay.
Bro, what?
Okay.
I didn't know I'm not allowed to bring a bullet.
Okay, why don't you come? He's gonna come. Wait.
I didn't know I wasn't allowed to bring a bullet. My nigga, why would you bring a bullet to school with no gun?
I'm not like a school shooter.
The student was identified as Nolan Rosen, who, despite all evidence to the contrary, claims he's not planning anything.
He said, I'm not
He's
planning
a
anything or
school
nothing.
shooter.
Like, what?
Obviously, though, the police just can't take him at his word, and they have to treat him as an immediate threat to the school's safety.
If I was a school shooter, I wouldn't tell you. You know what I mean?
Today's day and age, you know, they gotta be very too safe for these types of things. That's well, let me ask you this while I got you right here. And just be honest with me, you didn't bring.
I mean, it makes sense that he would be telling them he had a bullet on him. If he was just gonna shoot the school up, he wouldn't have said that. But still, though, like, that's stupid.
You got in school, did you?
No.
That's the only you only had one round.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't like bring a gun into school.
No, okay, I know.
That's not my intention.
You know I gotta ask though, right?
Was there a bullet found though? It's gotta be the reason we're doing all this. When I looked it up, it said there's no statute for bringing up, like there's no law against bringing a bullet to the school.
Okay.
I'm just like letting you know.
Despite Nolan's oddly calm demeanor and bold claims,
Unless,
the cops
let me cook, unless somebody had a gun and he had the bullet for the gun. I don't know, that might be a little deep, but that's the only thing that makes
decided to
sense,
search him
bro.
anyway for the exact reason Nolan's already brought up. If he was a school shooter, he wouldn't tell them.
All right, just turn around, face over here real quick. Put your hand on that.
But it's like, if you bring a bullet, I'm automatically assuming you're a school shooter, bro.
Just keep your hands on the table. Just put them on the table. Just put
I'm
them on the
automatically
table.
assuming, bro, because why are you bringing a bullet to school?
2 bullets in this one.
Literally, if I thought I was doing anything wrong, I wouldn't bring it.
I got you. Just know in today's day and age, you can never be too safe, right?
Right there.
Okay, that's all of them?
Yeah.
All right, so you gotta continue searching, that's all.
Is that the F on there?
I like a 22.
Not even an assault.
Yeah.
It's not even an assault.
Right. 12-15-23. Are these from a range?
No, I have a Henry repeating rifle. Kind of just use it as like a thing to like comfort me a little bit.
At home?
What?
Or
Yeah. I don't like, I have no ill intention.
Nolan tells the cops that he's actually worried about the threat of guns on campus and keeps a weapon at home because it comforts him knowing he can protect himself. This might make sense to him, but the cops suspect there's something more to this story.
I know why it would raise a concern, but I'm really scared about that stuff, like school shooters too. I'm like very, and it makes me anxious too that anyone can just walk into school and shoot it up. Like, you worry about that? Yeah, I worry about that stuff a lot sometimes. You have a gun in your car? Yeah, of course. Well, not of course. Like, I don't carry it all the time, but I just literally carried it in my car. Like, I don't bring it into school.
Is there a gun in your car right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was finna shoot the school up. He was finna shoot it up. He was finna shoot it up. He was finna shoot it up.
you'll stay.
Yeah. They're in my bag. It's not an assault rifle. It's literally a 22 Henry repeating rifle.
It don't matter, nigga.
I just want to know if you have one there.
The atmosphere in the room changes instantly as Nolan admits to bringing a loaded weapon onto the school campus. The
Why,
cops'
bruh?
perception of him changes from a confused kid to an active threat. And if he's comfortable bringing a weapon to school in his car, who knows what else he's not telling the officers. 2 cops stay with him in the office, and the rest head out to search his car.
Watch that. It's right here. Yeah, just leave it right there for now. It's basically like just a 22 rifle, right? Like something you shoot rabbits with. Rabbit, squirrel. Yeah. I don't know how to check if it's loaded. We'll check it. Single, you put it in there, I think.
Oh, you got it in the safe?
I'm wondering if you gotta like cock that back to
get inside.
This is how you like rack
chamber it.
The cops discover the weapon in his car and note down the serial number, but they struggle to determine if the weapon is loaded or not. So instead, they turn their attention to Nolan himself and try to decide what to do with him.
He's 18.
Yeah, he's 18, so I don't know what the higher ups want to do. They want to take him out of here in cuffs?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You verified that he's 18? We looked on the...
Yeah, I can triple check, but...
Is he a senior?
He's a junior. 18-year-old junior? Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in the office, the other cops are trying to get to the bottom of why he'd even bring the weapon in the first place, especially if he wasn't planning on using it at all.
I don't bring the rifle because I'm like assuming I'm gonna have to use it. I just bring
But
it.
my camera is a little bright, bro.
And second of all, it's like the comfort thing. Before I brought the gun, I'm pretty sure I was allowed to bring it. Like I don't think there was anything saying I'm not allowed to bring it.
Okay, I got you.
But I know it's like
Are you a senior?
in the modern age. This is bad.
Are you a senior?
No, junior.
Junior, okay. How old are you?
17.
Gotcha.
18, sorry.
This is an
Or
issue that will
18.
come up a lot throughout the rest of this case. Nolan fully believes that there is no law stopping him from bringing a firearm onto school property. But this is, of course, fundamentally incorrect. Ohio Revised Code Section 2923.122 explicitly states that no person is allowed to bring or attempt to bring a deadly weapon into a school safety zone. In fact, it even bans the possession of objects that look like weapons, as they may incite panic, just as Nolan has today. Bear this in mind as the investigation continues.
I just see a lot of videos where having the gun prevents like altercations.
Like online videos and stuff
there'll be
like
a different
that.
outcome and stuff. Like there's one guy who was like 200 pounds bigger than this guy, and he comes up to his car and he's like, "I want to fight you." It looks like he's about to rip him out of his car, and the guy just pulls out a gun, and the guy turns around and walks the other way, and it's like that's all it is. He didn't even like do anything just because he saw the gun. He knows it's like it's over.
So that could be a case, but another thing, so I'm a subject control instructor, so I teach all the police officers basically how to fight like martial arts and stuff like that. You've heard of this 21-foot rule, right? If somebody has a knife within 21 feet of you, they're more dangerous than the guy with the gun because they can clear that distance quickly.
Oh wow.
But
Come with me.
You gotta quick.
Unfortunately for Nolan, though, it's time for him to face reality. He brought a gun to school, and despite him claiming there was no ill will and that he had no idea
Ain't
there
gonna lie,
was
bro. He looked like one of those. He looked like one of those. I don't trust that nigga.
a policy
No
against it,
doubt.
the cops and school officials have already made their decision.
Well, surely you can imagine having a gun on school property is a major issue. So I am suspending you for 10 days with a recommendation for expulsion. And since you are also on a 504 plan, somebody from the special education department will be reaching out to you because we're going to have to hold what's called a manifestation determination meeting. But at this point, it is a 10-day suspension with a recommendation for expulsion for weapons, specifically a gun, and disruption and misconduct. I have to go fill out the rest of the paperwork.
I didn't disrupt anything.
The whole school was on lockdown, buddy. I'd call that about as big of a disruption as you could have.
Sorry. Well, the problem wasn't bringing the gun. The problem was I dropped the bullet. That was the problem.
And this still isn't the end for
Yeah,
Nolan,
this
as
nigga
the
is
cops
crazy.
take him into custody. And he's shown that the "it's not illegal if you don't get caught" logic is only a fallacy.
We talked to our prosecutor. It is against the law to bring a gun into what's called a safety zone or a school, right?
That's subjective.
What is subjective?
But you consider it like a safety zone.
Now's not gonna be the time to contest it right now, okay? So basically what I'm telling you is we're gonna end up charging you, okay? And you're 18 years old.
There's no law against that. Bringing a gun on the school property, there's no law. Like, there's no statute.
I'm telling you there is.
It's a policy, not a law.
No, there's a state law in Ohio. There's also
Nice to meet you.
They ain't trying to argue with it.
Here's what we're gonna do. Okay, we're not gonna debate what is or isn't. We know what we have. We have violation of law, right?
I don't think there is a violation of law.
Okay, and you can think that, and we do arrest people that think they aren't in violation of laws. That does happen. And you have the right to believe that. You can believe whatever you want to believe.
This is a newer generational problem. This is not like a problem that they had like back in the day. This might be
What
like
is
the
he
first time
yapping
doing a
about?
situation like this in your whole career. So I don't think you can just arrest me like that.
But we are arresting you. Put your hands behind your back. You said I could put your hands behind your back.
I'm telling you, I respect you.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We're okay. Go ahead.
Nolan was arrested and charged with improperly handling firearms, possession of a deadly weapon in a school zone, and inducing panic. He pleaded not guilty to all of these charges, maintaining his story from the body cam footage. It's all too easy for kids to cause such havoc, and it's lucky that Nolan
dude is
decided
slow,
not
bruh.
to use his weapon for evil, just as Michael Beaver did to kill his entire family. But before our
What?
next case, let's first take a moment to thank our sponsor, Incogni, for
Yeah.
helping us fund
Yeah,
these
that's cool
videos.
and all, but
I'm sure you've gotten a scam.
that's cool in our game, but
Most people don't know that, including deeply and this removal or online to remove dates to see the first
My brother's attacking my family. Your dad is attacking your
Hello.
family. Hello? My brother's attacking my family. Your dad is attacking your
Bless me.
family. No, my brother.
my brothers attacking my family.
These were the chilling words of 12-year-old Daniel James Beaver as he begged for the police to save him from his two older brothers, who were running rampant throughout his house, killing everybody
Both
inside.
brothers?
But less than a minute after the phone call began, Daniel could be heard screaming and begging for his life until the line went dead. Police arrived
No.
at the scene quickly and were greeted by a gruesome scene that had played out all across the house. Blood was found smattered around the porch, and a faint cry for help could be heard from inside. The plea came from 13-year-old Crystal Beaver, but everybody else in the house, except for 2-year-old Autumn, was dead.
One of these surviving
Dang.
severed children, a 13-year-old girl, saying her brothers were fascinated by mass killings for at least a year.
Police heard commotion near the back door of the property and discovered perpetrators Robert and Michael Beaver covered in blood
Why they both dirty though? Like they buried them or something? Like
and smiling as if they were proud of what they had done. Robert was laughing and told police that killing more than one person had turned him into a god. Unfortunately, Robert's interrogation tape was never released to the public, but 15-year-old Michael's is fully available and gives us some insight into what drove these boys
yeah,
to
let me know
commit
what
such a
made
brutal
what made y'all
crime.
do that,
I was
bro.
hoping maybe you could kind of just go back at the beginning when all this started and kind of tell me what happened.
A couple months ago, he started talking about rampage and stuff like that.
Okay.
I didn't take it seriously at first, but then he started buying like body armor and stuff.
Where did he buy body armor from?
eBay and Amazon.
Robert's room was found filled with weapons and body armor, including machetes, hunting knives, and daggers. Apparently, they'd been collecting all of this for months,
This
but
my
when their
thing, bro.
sister
You don't, if your children live with you, bro, you don't see what type of stuff they bringing in your crib. Like, I blame the parents
Crystal
for that,
told
bro.
their mother about it, she simply passed it off as normal, saying that boys will be boys, and there's nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
She couldn't
It's your
have been
fault.
more wrong.
The guns. Where did he start buying guns from?
He bought them online. I think the website's like Bud's Gun Shop, and he bought two Glock 41 and a shotgun. I forget, it's like a Moss Boot, I think. Then he bought 250 shotgun rounds
250?
on eBay. And then I think he bought close to 1,000 rounds for the Glock.
Oh my gosh, bro.
Okay.
Where was he supposed to pick those?
Bro,
The ammunition.
depending on what, let me see what Glock 41 take, bro. Let me see what Glock 41 take 4 5s, bro. That's almost $30 a box. That's like 30 some dollars. That's about $30 a box, bro. And he bought 1,000 rounds. Like, where is he getting money like that from? Like,
Knives
that's
and
crazy.
machetes were one thing, but guns and over 1,000 rounds of ammunition are a completely different matter. So once they'd ordered it to their house, they knew that their parents
As a
couldn't
teenager,
be
though.
home when it arrived. But what did they even need all of these weapons
Glocks
for?
alone, like
It doesn't
600.
take 1,000 bullets to kill 5 people. Well, it turns out that the brothers had a much, much bigger plan.
Tell me more about making plans and what you guys talked about.
Making plans, we all plotted every night.
Why did he want to do it?
Because he just, says he hates everyone. He thinks society is pointless. And so he wanted to, beat, amount of other famous people like Columbine and James Egan Holmes.
So did you guys have a goal? Did you have a number?
He just wanted, I think he wanted to kill, 50.
Okay.
The The two
That's
boys
crazy,
stayed
bro.
up late most nights talking and scheming, and once they realized they were both separately interested in murder, the die was cast, and from their perspective, there was no turning back. The boys had grown a bond throughout their lives due to their living conditions. Their parents, April and David Beaver, were somewhat abusive to their children. They were homeschooled and even told not to interact with children outside of their own family. This left them alone with their own thoughts a lot of the time,
Bro,
and their only
that's
perspective
terrible.
of the outside world was the one
Terrible
that they
parenting, bro.
formed in their own minds. This is how they developed such a negative outlook on society, and what drove them to form the next part of their plan.
Bro, you can't blame nobody but their parents for why this happened, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You can't blame nobody but the parents, bro.
You said.
Yeah, which was yesterday night. That was the date.
How did you pick the date?
They were holding on with the packages and stuff would be out. Because, you know, all the ammunition, he didn't want them to see that. So we went to everyone at the house first.
Okay.
And then wait for all the packages to show up over the weekend. And then we take the Yukon and we to our state with the guns.
So, their plan was set. Michael even said their idea was to cut up and dismember the bodies of their family and hide them in bins while they camped out waiting for the guns to arrive. He even added the gruesome detail that they only left Autumn alive because they had planned to decapitate her with an axe a little while later. But of course, all of these ambitious plans fell at the first hurdle. So what was it that happened that night that caused everything to fall apart for the brothers? The murders began with Crystal, who had entered their room at 11:30 p.m. on the 22nd of July, 2015, to the sight of them gearing up with body armor and knives. Michael lured her over to his computer, and Robert slit her throat from behind.
And so she fell down and started screaming.
Yeah, one of them kept stabbing her. I kind of freaked out because, you know. And then my mom came in and she started yelling, call the police, get dad. And then he came over and started attacking her.
So he stabbed your mom.
You got a list.
With the same knife?
Yep, same knife.
And where did he stab her?
I think in the neck too.
At this point,
Dang.
Crystal had managed to get up and stumble out of the door in an effort to escape, but Michael quickly followed her and dragged her back inside.
She's still alive?
Yeah, she was still screaming. And then that's about the time Dad came down. They got a little bit of a fight, but then eventually Robert got him down, you know.
Did he cut his throat too?
The three eldest members of the family were now well and truly out of action. With their parents dead and Crystal's throat slit, bleeding out on the porch,
Dang, bruh.
they just left their four younger siblings, the people they thought would give them the least problems. This is also where we rejoin the story from earlier, and Daniel is on the phone with police hidden in his room.
I was sitting on the phone with the police. I grabbed the phone, which is my phone, got my phone. And then I ran into the kitchen and I smashed the underground.
Which was your phone?
Yeah, it was my phone.
Now you don't have a cell phone anymore.
Shortly after, Daniel too was stabbed 21 times in the back, shoulder, and chest. The final two victims were hidden in locked rooms, but Michael managed to convince them that Robert was attacking him too. This lured them out, and the brothers finished their attack by once more stabbing 6-year-old Christopher and 5-year-old Victoria to death. Throughout this interview, though, Michael has been placing a huge amount of blame on Robert, even at points saying that he was just standing there, letting Robert do all the work, and that he was only part of this in the first place because he knew Robert was going to do this anyway, and he wanted to be on his good
Niggas
side.
don't realize, bro. Killing somebody because you scared of somebody else not gonna get you out of jail, my nigga. You still did it. You're going to jail, bro. Like, supposed to be slow.
I couldn't kill anyone. I couldn't do it, so I was going to let him like kill everyone.
Yeah, but you stabbed somebody in the neck.
No,
I mean,
I just kind of.
how do you feel about what you've done now?
I didn't like it.
I mean, how do you feel about your mother? You watched her get stabbed, you cut her throat yourself, and you watched her bleed all over the place and scream. How does that make you feel?
Think about it.
Unfortunately,
I don't want to
though,
think about it.
in his interview, Robert had absolutely no concerns telling the whole truth and nothing but the truth, eventually cluing the cops in that Michael may have had a larger part than he originally let on.
Of course he did.
Interviewing Robert, kind of gave me a quick version of what he's saying that you did, and you haven't told me everything, okay? So I know you're not being completely honest. I'm just one of like hundreds of people that are gonna look at this thing. We got the state police coming in, and every single stab wound that you inflicted, we're gonna know about. Everybody's been stabbed. and you both had knives, and we know you both stabbed everybody. So you guys are kind of at the same level. Who's going to be honest and make this right? And who's a liar? Okay, which one do you want to be?
As is often the case, this simple rhetoric was all the cops needed to use to get Michael to open up and finally confess to being as big a part of the murders as Robert was. Michael admitted to slitting the throats of Crystal and his mother, as well as stabbing Christopher to death.
So he just sat there and
as
lied and
usual,
killed 3 of them.
One confession led to another, and we gained even deeper insight into the minds of these twisted teens.
You only stabbed your family because they were in the way towards the bigger plan?
They were in the way and higher count.
This higher count, I'm confused. Is this a game?
It's more like kind of become famous, kind of good.
It now fully comes to light that the murders truly weren't.
Let me get this straight with y'all, bro. I need to lean up a little bit. My camera won't look crazy. So, you telling me the way you plan to get famous was by going on a kill spree? Nigga, that wasn't gonna bring you no good fame, no type of money, and no freedom. And yet alone you going to hell. So, bro, like,
weren't personal to any extent, and that the entire
crazy,
reason for
bro.
the slaughter and any that would follow was just for recognition and fame. This became even more obvious when searches of the home revealed rolling surveillance cameras and storage drives with all
I ain't
of
gonna lie.
their
Stuff like this, bro, we need a death penalty for it, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That junk is just crazy.
plans saved
Don't
them.
let me be a judge,
Robert
nigga.
later revealed that they
Hammer, nigga. You get a hammer. Your brother get a hammer, nigga. All you niggas getting hammers, nigga. You
planned
niggas
to
is
make
cooked.
2 videos, one to taunt the police with,
Lethal
and another
injections.
to post online.
Firing squad.
The rest of Michael's interview footage consists of him writing a statement that unfortunately was never publicized. But whatever it was that he wrote must have been pretty messed up, as the detective watching over him couldn't even finish reading it and reacted like this. Of course, at trial, neither of the boys
She
stood
couldn't
much
even
of a
read it.
chance, yet Michael attempted to plead not guilty on the grounds of insanity. However, it didn't go so well for either of them, and they were both given 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole. The surviving children, Crystal and Autumn, were adopted by the same couple. However, things are
that's 100
totally
plus
different
years.
for Courtney Clenny, who didn't only kill her boyfriend, but thought she could get away with calling the police on herself.
Bro, like what, bro? Like, you can't be serious, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
I just Christian Tobecha Kurobam Sully. Christian, please, I'm scared of him.
On the 3rd of April, 2022.
All right, bro. I done got flagged like 3 times trying to edit this video, bro. Basically, what's going on is she ended up, you know, shanking her boyfriend up, right? And so basically she calling the police and trying to make it seem like it was an accident and she really concerned about him. So YouTube, they keep flagging me, bro, so I had to do it so I can make my money. You feel me? So yeah, that's pretty much it, bro. And just skip the 2355. Y'all want to continue? You still gonna be able to understand the whole storyline of what's going on. I just had to blur this part because a lot of sensitive information. Appreciate y'all boys and continue to watch the video.
Questioning and a 5-hour-long interrogation began.
My apologies for being absolutely covered in.
Listen, you don't have to apologize, okay? I completely understand. All right? Things happen, and you can't control it. Okay? How long have you guys been together?
See what type of loss you come up with.
A year and a half to 2 years, yeah.
Through your relationship.
Okay.
He's still at the hospital. They're still,
I know.
monitoring him and talking to him. So we're waiting.
Oh my God! So he didn't even have to have surgery.
Well, I don't know. They're still doing X-rays and stuff like that.
People be sick.
So I don't know yet. I'm waiting to hear a response.
That's all I have to know. Thank God.
The detectives tell Courtney that Toby is in the hospital, but alive.
He already
Detectives are
did.
usually unaware of how a suspect will react to certain information, so
think
it's
he already-
often safest to open by easing any worries they may have and talking in a non-accusatory manner. This makes the suspect feel more relaxed and more likely to open up.
We just got back together. I had broken up with him, and then he came back the last 2 nights, and then to an argument, and I ended up getting scared, and I think that I overreacted, or not overreacted necessarily, but reacted, and I just didn't know exactly.
Wait, before we go any farther, she just said she got scared, so do y'all think she stabbed him in self-defense, not trying to kill him, or do y'all think she tried to kill him on purpose? Let me know. Let me know what y'all think.
Here in Miami, or do you guys have your own business?
She could be lying. I think she's lying though.
So I'm an influencer, I guess is what.
Oh yeah.
Call it, yes, I'm an influencer.
What do you focus on, like Instagram?
Not an influencer.
Or, social media.
Instagram, LinkedIn.
And what is it that he does?
Stocks and crypto.
Stocks and crypto.
He just has stocks and stocks and crypto. We were gonna move into a house. So have an apartment, and then we were like, maybe just move here for a year. And then once we got here, we were like, no, this is dope.
Yeah.
So we have the dog picked out. It's golden retriever. We're gonna.
Bro, get to the point, bro. You don't care about your dog.
So we're gonna get a house. So we're gonna have a backyard. Because I have 2 dogs, and then we're gonna have 3. So we're planning on staying here for a while. Sorry.
Once again, you don't have to apologize.
Bit going to how she named her dog and all. Bro, we don't care, bro.
But at the end of the day, they're there to solve a crime. Courtney's being investigated for stabbing Toby, and the only defense she's given so far is that there was an argument and things got out of hand. If Courtney did in fact do what she's being accused of, being forced to think about her past and future with Toby would really be messing with her emotions, causing her to become more vulnerable and hopefully lead to an easy confession.
Let's start from the start.
Thank you.
You guys are supposed to take out your dogs to the park, right? And then what happened after that?
Like I said, a little bit before, I was doing laundry and tried to call my mom.
She is stalling, bruh.
And then he left. I guess he went to go bike over there. That's just what he said. I don't know if he walked or biked, but he told me he's gonna bike or something.
Like a bicycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he came back with a Subway sandwich, and I said something about like, oh, are you gonna like reshare your location with me, like did you unshare it? And he said, yeah, I unshared it. And I was like, oh, when did you do that? And he goes, the other day, like when you were done with me. And I was like, okay, well, fair enough. And, like reshare it. And then he told, it kind of like turned into like a little like argument or something.
Okay, they're arguing over him not sharing his location.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I will. And then I didn't do it immediately. He asked me about it again. And I don't know what I was thinking, but it just said something about, well, what if I'm somewhere you don't want me to be? Which I wouldn't have been. I love him.
Cap.
But maybe you don't want to know where I am. I guess maybe they'll just like hurt him because he was pressing me. And he ended up pinning me against the wall. I said like choking me on the floor. It's just like, they were looking at my neck and I was like, I'm not saying like choking you like, whatever. But he had my like neck, like and this happened twice before, where I couldn't breathe and I was on the floor. Yeah. I could not breathe. And I don't think that he was trying to kill me, but I was scared. And all 3 times I have been scared.
Okay.
I'm on the floor. And you have me pinned. Get my mom on the phone. So this
wait,
happened,
nigga,
like,
how you getting choked out but then end up calling your mama?
The door and somehow moved like over in the living room. He was standing by.
It don't even make sense.
Facing toward the kitchen. I was in the kitchen, and then he just like I could see like all the whites in his eyes, and he was like coming at me, and so I grabbed one of these knives. My mom got me for Christmas. I grabbed one of them, and I was like, I swear to God, it was just like I grab it and be like, don't come anywhere closer to me, because earlier that was happening 2 other times. I couldn't breathe. I'm sorry, I couldn't breathe, and it's very scary.
Okay.
And I just think like this kind of thing where I was saying like, do you know if he's okay? If he's choking me and he's angry enough, he might like, or, I mean, this is different, I think. But if he's like choking me or like pinning me or something and I can't breathe, he might go too long. So I grab a knife and I said, don't come anywhere closer to me. I had absolutely no intention of using it. I'm on the phone with my mom and he's coming at me like he's gonna grab either the phone or like the knife or something. And so I was just like, I was like, don't come any closer. It's coming at me, and I threw it. And
you threw the knife.
How far away was he?
Well, I was by my fridge, and he was like by the edge of
Nigga,
one
what?
of the chairs of the sofa. Like
comparing to
10 feet. I'm trying to think in my head.
To recap, Courtney
That don't
says
even make
that
sense.
an argument started when the pair had both stopped sharing their phone
Bro,
location.
so you saying you threw a knife at this nigga? Nigga, you must have had a vampire dagger, nigga, a fucking hunting knife or something. Cause ain't no way you throwing a kitchen knife at somebody and it's gonna kill them. Like have him fight for his life, bro. Don't even add up.
Resulted in him pinning her against the floor and her retaliating by throwing a kitchen knife across the room, piercing him in the chest.
that you not killing nobody with that. Throwing that knife at somebody, you're not killing them by throwing a knife, bro. You got to throw that bit at it 90 miles per hour for it to kill
Courtney
somebody,
also
bro.
clearly states that her attack was in self-defense and specifically involved her throwing a knife 10 feet across the apartment
10
that
feet?
landed perfectly in his chest,
Bro,
causing him
get
to
out of here,
bleed
bro.
out and fear for his life.
So then, you were by the fridge?
Get out of here, bro.
Yes, I was in front of the fridge. He was by the couch.
And then
behind my island.
Then what kind of movements did he make at the moment? He was gonna walk.
You going to jail?
Running? Okay.
Well, charging, aggressively walking, something.
What was he doing? Like, was he doing something with his hands or?
Doing it had his hands up. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Was he yelling at you at the time?
Yes.
Was that at the moment that he was charging you or earlier in one of the arguments?
It was before he choked me. Yes, it was before he choked me.
Okay.
Or whatever. But I swear to God, I was scared. I mean, after like what I was scared, and I was on the phone with my mom, and it was still happening.
Yeah.
I was scared.
All right, let's see if our mom can tell the same story then.
That he had you against the wall at one point, right? With his hands over your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you end up from the wall to the ground?
Let me go, and then I started swinging on him because I had been against the wall.
Okay.
I started trying to hit him.
Yeah.
And then he put me on the ground.
He dropped you to the ground.
When I'm trying to remember like a whole situation of where I was very upset about something, which I've learned this in therapy and whatever, it's like write down like all the details so you don't forget. Just like write it all out clearly so that it makes sense to you and makes sense to somebody else. But I haven't had a chance to have a pen and paper or my phone to like write down exactly what happened, and I haven't really even like fully thought about it. So honestly, my answer is I don't remember.
That's fine. Okay. You guys have a history of violence?
Yeah.
You say you've been together how long, sir?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
2.5 to 2 years.
So how many incidents you think you've had?
I don't know, but we shouldn't be together.
Have you made a report before?
No.
You've never made a report?
Oh, I did.
Bro, she babbling, bro.
I did in Dallas, actually, about a year ago. And he was detained.
And what happened there?
He had pushed me in the lobby, but it wasn't like a big deal, and they made it a huge deal.
The couple had also been involved in another incident in Las Vegas less than a year earlier. Police were called to their apartment after a loud argument was heard, as well as glasses smashing on the floor and walls. The apartment was trashed when police arrived, and Courtney's story was all over the place.
Why did you call for help?
Because we were getting really loud. And I was like, oh my God, we're gonna like do damage to the room or something. Not damage to each other. Like I really want to like.
But why would you think?
Like that.
Why would you think that you were gonna do damage to the room?
I like throwing something or like.
Did you throw something?
Did I?
Yeah.
No.
Did anybody throw anything?
No.
So why would you think that there is damage to the room to be made?
Because I've done that before in our house, and I.
What have you done?
Thrown a glass and a plate.
Did you throw a glass or a plate at him today?
No.
Okay. So if
No,
I.
this is before.
Okay. So When I go to the room and I see a broken glass on the floor, where did the glass come from?
I don't know. I literally couldn't even remember how the fight started.
Okay, well.
Was there?
Yeah.
Maybe I did. Well, I'm guessing that it's
Maybe I did.
But that sounds like me. So.
Courtney was brought to jail and held for 12 hours overnight, but Toby refused to press charges and advocated heavily for release. This may seem like nothing, but police did conclude that Courtney had attacked him that night by throwing a glass at his head. If nothing else, it proves that Courtney was capable of attacking Toby unprovoked and opens up an entirely new avenue for this investigation. However, it also turns out that police had been in contact with the couple more recently. In fact, they'd actually been called by security to their apartment the day before the attack.
But the cops have been up there one other time yesterday for absolutely no reason. Absolutely none. They harassed, not the police, but security guards from the office, like young security guards. Came up for no reason. Bothered him, bothered me.
The cops were called, however, and captured an entire exchange on body cams, providing a stark contrast to the story that Courtney gave here.
All right, let's get to the good part, bro.
I didn't. Nobody.
I called. You called. Okay. What's going on? Okay, hold on, man. Let him talk. Okay. Okay. The front desk personnel, she informed us that Miss Courtney, her boyfriend, was trying to get into the elevator. And she had her hand out like this, and she was like, "Oh no, don't come inside the elevator." Okay.
So she the problem.
I asked her, I said, "Do you want him to leave the property?" She said no, she don't want him to.
I did not say that. I said yes.
Hold on.
Courtney, what's going on? What do you need? What?
Bro, she give me crazy vibes, bro.
All right, so what do you want to see?
I want a restraining order against Christian Ubumzeli.
We don't issue those.
Because, no, I'm serious. Can I do that? Where
You have to go to court. You have to go to downtown.
How can I make myself first?
Courtney is obviously extremely panicked in this footage and seems less concerned about any possible that she may have been sustaining and more worried about getting a restraining order before Toby can. It's also important to note that the building's security noticed her pushing Toby coming from him. As the evidence mounts up, it's starting to get increasingly more likely that Courtney's whole self-defense story might be straying slightly away from the truth. But as is almost always the case in situations like these, everything is still hearsay, and officially debunking her claims is going to be a challenge for the detectives. But after leaving her alone for almost an hour and letting her change clothes, they return to the interrogation room with some more news for her.
So you're living...
Okay, let's go. Let him cook. Let him cook. Let him cook.
Right now.
Yes.
You know?
I will feel so much better once they just say he's stable.
Yeah.
And I've been asking so much.
That's what we're waiting for.
I mean, I feel like at the end, I mean, if he's not, that's a lot worse for me.
So they've asked for an update, and I asked them for an update as well, so they're checking to see what's going on. Because they're...
I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I will do with myself if he's not okay.
No matter what...
I mean, I clearly we can't be together.
No matter what happens, no matter where this falls, right, it's out of our control.
So...
What we got, man?
Inform me that Christian did not make it.
Dang.
Unfortunately, the doctors did what they could. And
Christian is dead.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Dang.
This is not real, right? Okay.
I didn't think they was gonna tell her that.
There's no Christian died? Can I please have a hug? Am I allowed to do that in here?
A hug? Like, bro, sit down somewhere, bro. Look at it. Look at this freaky ass nigga.
Do that in here?
First nigga to open his hands up.
No.
You gonna ask for a hug, then say no.
I need to hug my mom. I cannot be left alone in like a room by myself.
You won't be.
After this, No, that's not true. That's not real, right?
It is real.
Christian is dead.
Yes. They're not gonna lie.
The last thing he ate was...
Terrible acting, bro.
What I was saying to that other room, I said, God forbid, when, like, from far away, what if it had accidentally hit a little bit lower and he died?
So we can't change what's occurred and forget him before. So just step by step. So you'll get through this, all right?
It's easy to tell by the detectives' reactions that they're fairly convinced what happened was indeed self-defense. In fact, one of them was even talking earlier about how he's sure she'd be allowed home that night and that everything was going to be fine. So it obviously wasn't hard for her lawyer to convince them officially that she wasn't guilty and she was let off without any charges. But remember, the detectives weren't aware of any of the evidence mentioned so far. All they know is what Courtney told them. So as time went on, evidence started to mount up, and the Abumseli's case was starting to become stronger and stronger. The body cam videos started to become publicly available, and the true nature of her previous arrests came to light. There were also unflattering videos such as this one showing her drunk in public just days after her release.
Yeah, and they're seeking justice. Anything, sir? Yeah, what? Let's all videotape her. Right now, you should go. Yeah, you should go. Justice? You just know her boyfriend. Yeah, you did. Yeah, and He's right to. Yeah, okay.
But that's crazy.
Sure, people make mistakes and drink too much. But when you're seen acting like this in public just days after bawling your eyes out in an interrogation room, you don't exactly get painted in the best light. Just days later, footage secretly recorded by Toby was found on his phone displaying Courtney violently screaming at him, using aggressive language, hitting him across the face, and using racial slurs.
No.
Courtney, I was on a bike ride and she passed me and I said, hi, you and Courtney are having a live chat. My bad, I forgot to tell you that. That doesn't make you to act and call me a...
Yo.
Yes, thank you. Coming from Courtney, thank you.
I want you to get away from me!
So due to this
Yo,
and
she'll
many
crash
other
out.
accounts stating that Courtney was well and truly the one, she was officially taken to court by Toby's family. This is where the final nail in the coffin was delivered by a medical examiner who'd observed Toby's body and come to a conclusion.
Now, based on the information you received that the defendant was alleged to have thrown this knife, do your observations support that?
If the person who supposedly did this is an expert knife thrower, and the knife is the type of knife that you can throw, I guess that could have happened.
Did you receive any information that...
Told you, but that was a random knife.
No.
So based on that fact that you did not receive that information, would it support that?
No.
And what would you expect to see a knife do if someone just flung it at somebody?
It would just hit the body and bounce off.
Exactly.
Now, as a result of this case, did you come to a cause, or did you make a determination as to the cause and manner of death?
Yes.
Could you please explain those to the court?
The cause of death was stab wound of right subclavian artery. The manner of death was homicide.
As of April 2023, Courtney is currently awaiting what's become one of the most anticipated trials in modern history. She faces life in prison on account of second-degree murder with all of the evidence stacked against her. It's not looking good for her as we prepare to see if she'll be spending the rest of her life behind bars.
Dang, bro.
What? We know.
Oh, we got some else. We got some else. We gonna watch a few of these, bro. We gonna watch a few of these too.
He said if we ever talked, we were dead.
I'm just like, hey guys, you wanna go do this?
And when you said do this, what did you tell them you meant?
Wanna go kill somebody?
I don't know what to do. Do what? Just call Grandma and Grandpa and tell them they need to call me.
All right, man. That's gonna wrap it up for this video, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, some of these was crazy, bro. The one with the two boys, that's probably the craziest one, bro. Like, how you even I don't even know, bro. It's like I'd be in a loss for words just listening to junk like that, bro. But if y'all want to see more videos like this, y'all already know what to do, man. Just like, comment, more video ideas. We gonna bring it to y'all, man. So Y'all already know what to do, man. With that being said, in this video, man, we gotta